So you've probably seen a bunch of startups that are building applications that let you chat with your data. They describe themselves as like a cursor for Excel. And what they usually do is they take data in some sort of spreadsheet format. They send it to an API that's running some sort of closed API model in the back end. You can ask a question, and then it'll analyze the data. It'll pass all of that into a model, get some response back, and then stream it back to you. So I built something like that this past weekend with one added feature. Everything runs in your browser. There are no external API calls. All your data, which is especially important for a lot of spreadsheet kind of financial data, is yours. It stays local. It stays private. And what I wanted to do in this video is just walk through kind of the basic building blocks that let you build something like this. But first, let me just show a quick out, just let me show you how it kind of works. So you have a bunch of data that looks like this in this, tabular format, and then you can ask questions. Let's say, how old is Alice? You kind of, get a response back. It's super fast because, again, everything's running entirely in your browser. You can change some of that data. You can ask your questions again, and, the information updates. So how does this work? So this is running on Hugging Face Spaces, and this is a Svelte application. So that's why it's running entirely browser side. The great thing about Spaces is you can take a look at the actual source code. So I'll drop a link to this space. You can see all of the exact code. You can duplicate it, change whatever you want. It's all open source. But I do want to walk through kind of the key pieces in order to build something like this. So what do you need to do in order to build something like this? The first thing that you need is a model that can actually run in the browser. In our case, we're using Gemma 3. So Gemma 3 270 million parameter model, released by Google and converted by the community into a format that can run into the browser. So this is a nice model. It's anytime you're working with sub 1 billion parameter models, you shouldn't expect the kind of performance you expect obviously from ChatGPT, from other kind of similar models, but it works. It gives you reasonable responses back. Sometimes though it's not perfect, but again, this is running entirely in your browser, which is a huge plus. So in the code, what we do here, so there's a lot of examples on how you can use this. You can see, from the model page itself, there's a bunch of apps that you can see that are actually using this model. So not just the one that I built, but many other ones as well. And most of them run in the browser, which is pretty cool. And so what you can do is you can actually take a look at the source here. So the main source is these files here. App.svelte has most of it. So you can see how we kind of load the model here. We're using transformers.js, which makes it very simple. Just call you describe what kind of pipeline you want, what kind of model you want, and then you can do things like have a progress callback for the model being loaded and things like that. So again, when I actually reload this, let me go back to the app itself. You can see when the page first loads, it actually loads the model, and now I can actually use it. Great. The other piece, of course, is the UI. Here, what we're using is Gradio's data frame component. Gradio's data frame component is actually very cool because you can use it entirely in the front end. It's released as a JavaScript, as a Svelte component. And so you can configure it how you want. There's even a data frame sandbox here. You can see what it looks like in different themes, compact view versus with everything with the search and so on. Show row numbers, different parameters you can toggle on and off to get it how you want. It's a virtualized data frame, so it handles large data sets very well. And then you can just put it in your web app. You can even take some of this, there's documentation for this. You can take it and just dump it in your favorite vibe coder. You can see how you can just give it the pieces, the building blocks. Hey, this is the model I want to use. This is the UI I want, and it'll build a complete web application for you. So I'll drop the link for both for this space as well as for the model and for the sandbox that you can try as well. And then you can start building entirely browser-side applications that are doing amazing things, and your data is yours.